25 mind-blowing Philippines geography facts that you won't believe are true. Now, a lot of you guys have linked this over, and honestly, it made me really question it because I've been to the Philippines, and I really wonder what these are, especially some that I might know. And maybe 100% there might be some that I didn't. So I am really excited, especially considering I will be going back to the Philippines again. It's one of my favorite places. Check out my vlogs of me being there if you haven't on my channel. Loved it. Can't wait to go back. With that being said, let's see this together, yeah? Let's go.
What if I told you the Philippines hides a trench so deep that Mount Everest would disappear inside it with nearly 2 kilometers of ocean to spare?
Is this the Mariana Trench?
When most people think of the Philippines, they picture white sand beaches, tropical islands, and paradise getaways. But beneath that postcard surface lies one of the strangest and most extreme geographies on Earth. Today, we're diving into 25 geography facts about the Philippines that sound impossible, but every single one is real.
Wow.
Fact number 1. The Emden Deep, one of Earth's deepest abysses. Imagine flipping Mount Everest upside down and still having about 1.69 kilometers of water above its tip.
I thought this was the Mariana Trench for some reason. But the Emden one, I don't think Mariana is as deep as Mount Everest flipped upside down. So this is even deeper. Yo, that's kind of why I had like a shock. Because that's insane to even think about. Like, first of all, I don't know if any of you have seen what it's like down there. There's some like transparent fish down there. Some giant long tentacle octopuses that go 25 feet long. This is why it's shocking. Because when you start getting that deep, the problem is pressure becomes a big problem, and we can't even investigate what it's like down there. It's almost impossible, right? And I'm not saying it is impossible, but it's almost impossible. It's so difficult. There's so many things we haven't even discovered yet. So this is insane, bro.
That's the Emden Deep, the deepest point hidden inside the Philippine Trench, plunging to about 10,540 meters.
Oh my gosh.
Roughly 32 Eiffel Towers stacked end to end.
Yeah, bro, no.
It's often ranked as one of the world's deepest points, behind Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench
that's what I was talking about.
and Horizon Deep in the Tonga Trench. This pit is so extreme that only a handful of expeditions have dared to descend. One researcher described it as outer space, in total darkness and under crushing weight. At that depth, the pressure is over 1,000 times stronger than at sea level.
Yeah.
And yet, this abyss isn't in some remote corner of the world. It sits just off the coast of Mindanao, quietly swallowing light and sound. One edge of the Philippines drops 10.5 thousand meters into darkness. Another edge? It rises.
Wow.
A vast undersea plain the country can actually claim. Fact number 2. A new frontier under the waves. In 2012, the United Nations recognized the Philippine Rise, also known as the Benham Rise, as part of the Philippines' extended continental shelf. So how big is this new frontier? Well, about 135,000 square kilometers of additional seabed. Larger than Luzon's land area itself.
That's crazy.
That's like suddenly discovering an extra state hidden under the sea, bursting with untapped resources and marine life.
For what the Philippines is, I feel like it's so beautiful knowing that they have best of both worlds, right? They have like this one side that is the deepest, scariest, and then just this little extra layer of some of the rarest, correct me if I'm wrong, rarest fish. Some of the fish that are going extinct that are highly being preserved, right? I forgot the word, right? But you guys know what I mean. When the fish are gonna go extinct if you don't take care of them. A very, very high exhibition of life. Man, I keep forgetting the word because I remember in school we would talk about it all the time, that certain fish are very, very rare. And not rare necessarily, but very prone to go extinct. And they're that wildlife that you have to protect, right? And this happens with birds too. And the Philippines is full of that, right? And it just shows you this best of both worlds kind of concept. And I love it because the Philippines really, to me, when I even visit, it feels like best of both worlds, right? Like the best of kind and delicious food with humor as well. Being able to joke around and have this sense of humor, even with these gloomy things that might happen consistently in the Philippines.
At its heart lies Benham Bank, a plateau with exceptionally high live coral cover and teeming fish life. Early studies suggest it's a critical tuna spawning ground, and the seafloor may even contain mineral-rich crusts, hinting at future economic potential. And while the Philippine rise stretches into mystery, the islands themselves hold another surprise that seems almost impossible. Fact number 3. The center of the center. Between Batangas and Mindoro lies the Verde Island Passage, often called the center of marine shorefish biodiversity. Why such a bold title? Because this stretch of water sits at the heart of the Coral Triangle, the global bullseye of marine life.
This is what I was talking about,
Here, researchers have recorded over 1,700 species within a 10 by 10 kilometer grid, and over 300 coral species across the corridor.
This is some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in the world, man. When I mentioned the Philippines being best of both worlds, this is what I'm talking about. And the beautiful thing about it is these kind of coral reefs and how beautiful they are, there's that other side where it's just pure black, darkness. You can't even see. It's insane what it's capable of, right? And it's all there in the Philippines.
The richest marine neighborhoods on Earth.
Wow.
The density kind of feels unreal.
Look at that.
Plankton clouds drifting on powerful currents, to giant sea turtles sliding through traffic like locals. The passage is like an underwater metropolis in constant motion.
It's like the traffic in the
country
Philippines.
Of more than 7,000 islands, the Verde Island Passage is the life pack capital. And if this place is a riot of sound and color, the next marvel is the opposite. Pure, near silent emptiness. Fact number 4. An underground blue hole river. Hidden in the rainforest of Mindanao is the Hinatuan Enchanted River. At first glance, it looks like something painted by imagination. A pool of electric blue water glowing in the sunlight. Up top, the pool drops to about 80 feet, but the real story is below. The river surges from a karst spring with an underwater cave system. Cave divers have even traced passages to at least 87 meters in depth.
I could never.
The water here can turn fresh or brackish with the tides, and to protect the spring, swimming in the main pool has been banned since 2017.
That's actually
Locals have legends about it, but the truth is even stranger. The river seems endless.
What?
From a river that defies gravity, we move to an island that carries a story older than the Philippines itself. Fact number 5.
Bro.
A continental puzzle piece, Palawan.
I love this video already because it showed so many things I already didn't know, just at the start. There's so many little subtle things that I have not even heard about. Usually it's the big broad things about the Philippines, but these I have not heard at all.
Palawan feels different because geologically it is. Here mountains rise into impossibly sharp limestone ridges, and rivers carve through the land with an almost unnatural grace.
Wow.
Much of the island sits on a microcontinent block that rifted from the South China Eurasian margin as the South China Sea opened, and then collided with the Philippine Mobile Belt millions of years ago. That makes it a continental fragment tucked against an island arc nation.
That's insane.
It's kind of like a puzzle piece from another world that somehow fits itself into place.
Wow.
Palawan speaks of ancient secrets, but Camiguin's volcanoes tell a story of constant fiery transformation. Fact number 6. Volcano density on a tiny island. Camiguin Island shouldn't even exist the way it does. On the map, it's just a speck, 23 kilometers long and 14 kilometers wide in the Bohol Sea. But zoom in a little closer and you'll see something insane. This miniature island is stacked with 4 main stratovolcanoes plus several domes,
oh my gosh, yeah.
often counted as 7 volcanoes.
Oh my gosh.
The most infamous of them is Mount Hibok, which erupted violently in 1951, killing over 3,000 people and forcing thousands more to flee.
Oh, dude.
Walking across Camiguin is like hiking a pocket-sized ring of fire itself, volcanoes shoulder to shoulder on a tiny island. And just when you think the Philippines couldn't get any wilder, just wait until you see the river that flows.
Yo, this is crazy, bro. The mountains shoulder to shoulder, it's like Mount Rushmore of volcanoes, man. I love seeing stuff like that because it's unique in the sense that yes, it's scary, but unique in the sense that it's like it's different from anything you've ever seen. And it's almost unnaturally beautiful, right? That's nature for you.
Just when you think the Philippines couldn't get any wilder, just wait until you see the river that flows 2 ways. Fact number 7. The river that reverses direction.
What?
Rivers are supposed to flow one way,
Yeah.
downstream out to the sea. But in Manila, the Pasig River doesn't always play by the rules. Stretching just 25 kilometers, the Pasig links Laguna de Bay, the Philippines' largest lake, to Manila Bay. And here's the twist. The Pasig is a tidal estuary. When high tides or storm surges in Manila Bay push water levels above the lake, the flow reverses and saltwater
What?
intrudes inland. Engineers even built the Napandan hydraulic control structure to help regulate saltwater intrusion between bay, river, and lake. Only a few rivers in the world can do this,
Yeah,
like
dude.
Cambodia's Tonle Sap River. But Pasig is different. It
Bro, I was there. I literally
like
was there.
Cambodia's Tonle Sap River. But Pasig
I was literally here inside of this. It's a workout room in here. Yo, that's so weird. Why is that so surreal? I was literally in here. Oh my gosh. That's actually so surreal to see it from this view. Because I actually was standing in this window looking at the other side like, man, what does it look like from that side? Dude.
is different. It reverses right in the middle of one of the world's busiest cities. As if nature hadn't already amazed us enough, a secret lagoon hides jellyfish that no longer sting. Fact number 8.
What?
A lagoon of stingless jellyfish.
Stingless?
Tucked inside Bucas Grande in
do they eat?
Surigao del Norte is Tojoman Jellyfish Lagoon, part of the Sohoton Cove. This lagoon feels like it belongs in a dream.
Yeah.
Every year, the water blooms with thousands of lagoon or spotted jellies that locals describe as harmless to most people. Instead of pain, all you'll feel is wonder. These jellyfish have evolved in isolation, losing their stingers over generations due to scarce predators in this sheltered lagoon. Their sting is so mild, it's harmless to most people, turning the lagoon into a rare place where you can swim among thousands of jellies without any pain.
Oh my gosh.
Step in and it's like slipping into another reality, where something as dangerous as a jellyfish becomes harmless beauty. Up next, see what happens when the earth itself rips open and
Yo, how do I even explain it to my friends? Once we go, which we will, especially in that area, like, yo, don't worry, those jellyfish don't sting. They're not gonna believe me, bro. I'd have to swim for them. I bet, yo, listen, you guys don't get it, man. I watched this video. Listen, these jellyfish do not sting, I promise. If they sting me, I'm coming back to this video. No, I actually believe that they don't. I mean, the thing is like the Philippines is always capable of these unnaturally beautiful things. At this point, it's like one of the most surprising yet, of course, moments for me, bro. Because it's so amazing how it's always doing that.
Up next, see what happens when the earth itself rips open and splits the land apart. Fact number 9. The Philippine Fault System.
I've heard about this.
The Philippines is literally a nation on edge. From the country's northern tip to its southern seas, the Philippine Fault System slices through the islands, running over 1,200 kilometers long from northwestern Luzon all the way to Mindanao, about the distance from New York to Chicago.
Wow.
And it's a left lateral strike-slip fault, where the ground on the other side slides sideways to your left. Along its length, it slices across valleys, tilts mountains, and even shifts rivers out of place. Sudden earthquakes have destroyed towns, and people have had to rebuild from scratch, showing that the earth is always moving. The fault is sometimes called the country's invisible backbone. It's silent most days, but capable of roaring without warning. And while the Philippine Fault spans the country like a scar, the nation also has a single point that keeps everything in check. Fact number 10. The point that held a nation together. On the island of Marinduque, there's a spot that might look pretty ordinary. But this marker, known as the Luzon Datum of 1911 or Station Balanacan, was the invisible center of the Philippines. This single point served as the reference for the country's entire geodetic network,
What?
a quiet anchor beneath every modern map. For decades, every road, mountain, and island in the Philippines traced back to this tiny point.
No way,
Tie
bro.
any old survey to the national grid, and somewhere in the math, it tracks back to Balanacan. Today, mapping runs on GPS-based reference frames. Yet, Balanacan remains the nation's historic geodetic center and the heart that once held the whole map together.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And keep in mind, I always mention that I love like historical things like this. But when you start showing me things that like the earth was completely different, and I'm not talking dinosaurs or none of this. I'm talking about the earth was completely different with the shape of places. The Philippines wasn't even spread apart all the way that it is now, right? It was like some of them were connected. So many were connected, and it formed from one spot and grew. This is just crazy to me, man. This is what I love about videos like this, especially when it starts showing you that they still have this remembrance, right? This one rock, this area, look at this, to show you that it all stemmed from the, bro, that is the coolest stuff ever, man. And hey, call me a geek, bro, but I love going in museums and just seeing things like that. Like when I was in Italy, seeing some of the stuff that Romans used to have. When I went to the Philippines, seeing the Rizal statue, just seeing the stuff all around there and the reason, and reading those kind of like templates that you can see over here, for example, reading it, understanding it, it's so cool, man. Because these are moments in time where different footprints were set right here. Different ideas and different thoughts were shared right there. It's so cool to see, bro. It's literally one of the most beautiful things.
But if Marinduque is the country's steady heart, the Cordillera Mountains are its restless soul. Fact number 11. Terraced highlands of the Cordillera. Up in northern Luzon, where the Cordillera Mountains rise to nearly 3,000 meters high,
Look
are
at
the
that.
famed Afugao rice terraces.
I love these, by the way.
Think of them as giant green fortresses guarding the land.
And that's amazing. These remind me of Minecraft, bro. It just reminds me of like the Minecraft land, bro.
These terraces weren't carved for show either. Centuries ago, the Afugao people shaped mountains into staircases of fields by hand to grow rice where flat land didn't exist.
That's amazing.
These were made with nothing but stone, mud, and grit.
Wow.
While these terraces were created for survival and not tourism, today they are a major tourist attraction.
Of course, look at
If
this.
you laid these terraces end to end, they would stretch halfway around the world. It's pretty wild, right?
Yes.
It's one of those rare places where humans danced with nature, and the result is still alive today.
Bro, again, another example of what I was just talking about. Seeing areas like this that have so much history, man. Call me a geek again. Call me annoying. It is what it is. But I love hearing things like that, especially knowing that it could stretch around. It's literally humans dancing with nature. I love the way he said that. Because you look at this and step by step, it's the same thing with pyramids in Egypt, right? It's these things that are so fascinating to understand. Like, we didn't have like phones, and keep in mind, as awesome as it is, I could talk to you guys right now. Like, you guys can comment and respond to me talking to you right now, right? Seeing that is the coolest and most amazing thing. But what's even cooler is what our minds were capable of before even all of this, right? Before technology and anything, all we had was us, our hands, right? And each other. And we still do, but even more so back then. So we would concoct these things that you almost find unbelievable because all we had was time and each other. It's crazy.
Feeding communities centuries later. Now, if mountains can hold a story this epic, wait until you see how they shape the entire landscape of the Philippines.
Oh my gosh.
Fact number 12. Typhoon Superhighway. The Philippines sits right on what feels like nature's typhoon superhighway. Every single year, an average of 20 tropical cyclones enter the Philippine area of responsibility, and about 8 to 9 of them cross the country and slam into these islands. where peak season runs from July to October. Why so many? Well, this happens because the western North Pacific is the most active tropical cyclone basin on Earth.
Yep.
A storm factory that spins up more systems than anywhere else.
It hurts being beautiful,
These storms
Philippines.
change everything. Mountains collapse, rivers shift, and coasts redraw themselves. But no matter how hard the storms hit, the Philippines always bounce back.
Yep.
Forests regrow, cities rise again, and life keeps on moving forward.
Yeah, bro.
It's almost like the country itself was built to survive the impossible.
Yes.
After riding the storm highway, we're heading next to a place where water and land collide inside one of the most intense urban landscapes on the planet. Fact number 13. A capital on a delta. Metro Manila rises on a broad deltaic plain, built on a giant plain of river and lake deposits, squeezed between Laguna de Bay, the Pasig River, and Manila Bay. It's a city built where water meets land by design.
Yeah.
What does that really mean? Well, flooding is inevitable. The water here swells with the tides, surges with the rains, and pushes back against the city that dares to grow on its edges.
Wow.
And yet, Manila adapts. Skyscrapers, highways, and entire neighborhoods rise and fall on this watery chessboard. The city has added defenses to steer flows and keep saltwater in check. In a way, Manila is proof that millions can survive, even thrive, on a shifting delta. If a capital can dance with water, imagine what happens where rivers shift, storms carve the islands, and the ocean decides which ones will appear or disappear.
Yeah, dude. They're
Fact
one with
14.
nature.
Islands that change with the tide. Off the coast of Pangasinan, you'll find the 100 Islands National Park. And the name's not just poetic, it's literal. At low tide, there are 124 islands, but 123 at high tide. When the water rises, one slips beneath the waves. It's kind of like nature's own magic trick.
Yeah.
Here, rocks
so
turn
cool.
into walkways, cliffs vanish into the sea, and sandy paths appear just long enough for visitors to cross before the ocean takes them back again.
That's crazy.
But while these islands play hide and seek with the ocean, the rivers inland are busy building cathedrals of their own. Fact number 15. Samar's Karst Cathedral and Natural Bridge. Imagine a river carving a stone arch between two limestone ridges. That's the Sohotan Natural Bridge in Basay, Samar, part of the wider Samar Island Natural Park of caves, subterranean streams, and rainforest.
Yo, the Philippines is so vast. The more I realize, like, how long do you think it would take in a lifetime to really explore the entirety of the Philippines? Because I obviously want to do this, but I just know how long it's going to take. Oh my goodness, man. There's so many places in the Philippines, especially with all the islands. This is unbelievable. It's fascinating. It's almost kind of saddening. I don't know if I might be able to, right? How many hours do y'all think?
The numbers are kind of wild for such a serene place. 7 meters of vertical clearance, 8 meters across, and an opening of 40 meters long. Rivers below, forest on top, and stalactites hanging like a stone chandelier. All around it
Dude.
stretches a karst landscape of caves, subterranean streams, and rainforest, where water carves cathedral-like vaults and natural arches. From a river stone arch to an ocean-born wall. Now let's jump south, where water doesn't carve the rock, it pours out of it.
Oh my goodness.
Fact number 16.
A waterfall with no
waterfall
river.
with no river. Deep in the hills of Alamara, a cliff face where springs burst straight out of the rock. There's no river pouring over a ledge. Instead, water is flowing from a solid rock, a 60-meter wall draped in moss and ferns. That is the Asik Spring Curtain, a natural marvel that looks like the mountain is breathing. Geologists point to underground springs or an underground river feeding the flow.
This looks like the most insane Jurassic Park kind of like picture. Like, this doesn't look real. It literally looks like something off of Jurassic Park you have never seen, like they built for a movie scene. It's unbelievable what the Philippines holds, dude.
Tiny streams run down the mossy cliffs, turning the rocks green and silver.
Oh my goodness.
Water falls with a loud roar,
And it glistens.
the cliffs seem alive. The name Asik even means sprinkle, sprinkle. Perfect
yo,
for
this is what I love about the Philippines too. Halo, halo means mix, mix. It's the same thing with sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, bro.
a fall that appears to sprinkle out of the mountain itself.
Wow.
No, this isn't a trick or a dream. It's real.
Nah,
And right
it's
when
a dream.
nature leaves you questioning reality, human ambition follows. Fact number 17. One of the longest bridges skipping across the sea. Imagine a bridge so long it kind of feels like it's floating on water. The Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway stretches over 9 kilometers,
Wait!
linking Cebu City to the
gotta
town
go
of
on this.
Cordova. Driving across it is kind of like gliding above the ocean. Opened in April of 2022, CCLEX surpassed the iconic San Juanico Bridge and the Candaba Viaduct to become the longest bridge in the Philippines.
Bro.
But this title isn't going to last forever. The Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge, now in construction,
No
will
way.
stretch 32 kilometers and is set to break the record when it's done around 2029.
Yo.
While we marvel at CCLEX's
I'm going to be alive for that. And I got to pass that bridge, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Philippines, please slow down, man. Y'all getting too much. Because the problem is, I want to be able to explore everything. The more y'all keep doing, how am I going to explore all of this, bro?
magnificence, nature itself continues to set the rules. Fact number 18. Where two islands nearly touch. Between Samar and Leyte, the San Juanico Strait is astonishingly narrow, about 2 kilometers across, but its waters surge and twist with
Wow.
unstoppable energy, like a river running on fast forward. When the tide turns, the strait runs like a river, threading through the choke points and surging currents, spinning eddies, and small whirlpools along the banks. A slender bridge ties the shores, while below, the water refuses to slow. Cars move over it like tiny ants marching across a steel ribbon.
Yeah.
We just watched the ocean squeeze through a pinch point. Now, watch a river slip through a hidden passage straight to the sea.
That's terrifying.
Fact 19. A river that goes underground to the sea. This is the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River, one of the longest navigable underground rivers
What
in
is
the
that?
world. Inside the St. Paul Karst, the Cabayugan River runs about 8.2 kilometers underground, and boats can travel about 4.3 kilometers into the cave. Unlike most rivers that meet another river or
What? This is the Philippines, obviously, right? Look at the trees. Is this during autumn? Oh my gosh. There's no way. Is this?
a lake, this one flows directly into the sea, vanishing beneath the mountain before re-emerging along the coastline.
That's crazy.
For millions of years, water has carved this secret passage, creating tunnels and caverns that feel like another world.
Oh my. What is that? Yo, that almost looks like the Chernobyl thing. The elephant's foot, slightly. I don't know why it reminds me of that, but it's so cool, dude. Like, the way this was formed. And you know what's funny is, like, probably, what is the name of the rock thing that would happen over time where rock kind of shifts? Ah, man, I forgot the name. Oh my God, I learned it in school, bro. I'm having a brain fart. But I'm pretty sure what happens is the minerals, right? The salt in the rocks, would it cause the mountain or this passway through it over millions of years, right? Slowly just erosion, right? Eroding at it, created this passway. That is the coolest thing. Bro, I wish we could like fast forward from back then. Obviously, this is not possible. Remember, I know this is not possible. But if there was like a way to fast forward super quick, like from millions of years ago to now, and just see the rock eroding this passway, or not the rock, or the water kind of eroding through. I don't know. That would just be so cool in my head. Like, I'm envisioning that.
UNESCO recognized it as a World Heritage Site, calling it a significant natural phenomenon.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a quiet reminder of just how powerful water can really be. Just as water carves hidden paths beneath the
Wow.
earth, above ground, the earth lifts. The result? Palawan's knife-edge cliffs. Fact number 20. Uplifted reefs turn to cliffs. El Nido and Coron are world famous for their black limestone cliffs. But these jagged towers weren't always above the water. They started life underwater, as marine limestones laid down hundreds of millions of years ago. Over time, the Palawan block rose during regional collision.
I always wondered because they look so unnatural. Like, it's so beautiful how different it looks compared to other things I've ever seen. It's so jagged, like pencils, like actual pencil ends.
And rain and waves sculpted the rock into karst towers. What was once fragile coral became the sharp, towering cliffs we see today.
Wow.
Stand at the edge, hike the winding trails, or climb their faces, and it's impossible not to feel small.
Wow.
Each stone, each wave below, carries a story far older and larger than any human life.
Look how many people down there too.
And just when you think nature has revealed its ultimate trick, fire can reshape entire landscapes in an instant. Fact number 21. A lake born in 91. In 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted, leaving a 2.5-kilometer caldera, and the world watched in awe. But here's the part that truly blows your mind. As the new caldera cooled, rainwater began to collect, and within a few years, a turquoise crater lake filled the scar like the mountain decided to turn destruction into art.
Yeah, dude.
By 2001, the lake had grown so much that engineers lowered its water level to reduce the risk of a sudden breakout flood by carving a 5-meter spillway through the rim. Today, Pinatubo's crater lake is a quiet reminder of how fast the Earth can remake itself.
Nature's so
Where
amazing.
mud and rock once dominated, a lake now lies in their place.
Look at that.
It almost doesn't feel real.
It doesn't.
And if you think that's incredible, wait until you see Tal. Fact number 22. Volcano inside a lake inside an island.
Wow.
Even after its dramatic eruption in 2020, Tal volcano hasn't lost its crown as one of the world's strangest natural formations.
I did see about this.
Why? Because it's a volcano sitting on an island which floats in a lake that itself is on another island.
Bro, the Philippines.
It's kind of like nature's version of a Russian nesting doll, stacked layer upon layer.
It's amazing.
When Tal erupts, it doesn't just throw lava and ash. It actually can redraw shorelines, swing water levels, and alter vents on Volcano Island in real time.
Yo, it's like God's painting block, right? The Philippines. It's like where he paints, almost like he throws this art out. And I know, like, obviously it's like very dangerous and it can be very sad for what it does to people. But the reality is when, you know, you step back and you look at how amazing the world and the earth can be artistified, if that's a word, right? Artistified. Yo, maybe I made a new word. The way that it could be looked at in this way and perceived in a way of there's so much art that can be created from things that, of course, can be very damaging to people, but yet form this history of layers after layers of constant erosion or constant eruptions. There's all of these things that happen. It's literally like God's paintbrush, bro.
To put it all into perspective, the lake covers about 234 square kilometers, about 4 times the size of Manhattan.
Wow.
And Tal sits right in its center. From volcanoes stacked like riddles
this view.
to a landscape that looks like it came out of a chocolate box.
Yes.
Fact number 23.
The chocolate hills.
Chocolate brown hills that sprout from grass. Imagine walking into a world made entirely of chocolate. That's what Bohol's Chocolate Hills feels like. Over 1,700 cone-shaped hills, rolling over 50 square kilometers, rise about 30 to 50 meters high from the ground, with a few nearing 120 meters. They're not man-made, but limestone hills carved by rain and time.
Dude.
During the dry season, the green grass turns brown, and suddenly the whole terrain shifts from green to a chocolate-colored panorama. Each hill is slightly different. Shadows and sunlight make them change color and shape all day long. So nature has a way of sculpting beauty we just could never copy.
Yeah, you could never
That's
understand
wild.
either.
After wandering through these surreal formations, it's time to ascend even higher. Fact number 24. The highest peak. There's a mountain in the Philippines that feels bigger than life. Mount Apo, the tallest in the country, rises to 2,954 meters in the Davao region. Locals say it wears clouds like a crown, and when you
That's
see
crazy.
it, you'll understand why. Apo is a dormant stratovolcano. Quiet, but certainly not
It's a
asleep.
sleeping one, is it?
On calm
No?
days, you may smell sulfur or hear steam at fumaroles. A reminder there's heat underfoot. Climbing it isn't just walking up a trail. The fog swirls around you, hiding the paths ahead. Peaks appear and vanish, kind of like they're playing tricks. At the top, the archipelago unfolds. Rivers glint in the sun.
Oh my
Islands
gosh.
look like tiny toys, and distant mountains fade into the horizon. Everything just feels small,
Wow.
except for the mountain itself.
You know what's crazy is you need to do something like this as a person because you forget that the world is really small. Sometimes when you grow up, right, from being a kid, this is what I love about the Philippines. It makes you have so many opportunities where you can understand this part, especially with gratitude, right? It's imbued in their culture, but you need to do something like this because, and this is something I want to do for sure, and I will do, right? Maybe climb this mountain and stuff like that. And I know it's dangerous, but I think that idea of being up there, looking at everything and seeing how small everything becomes allows this almost feeling of, like he mentioned, everything is small. But this feeling creates that feeling that you felt when you were a kid, right? Whether you were on a school bus or walking, the world felt so big. But the problem is that when you start growing up, sometimes you lose that, right? You start feeling like, well, the world ain't that big because you get so accustomed to this. You've been here so many times. You've been here so many times. This is why it's important to travel and stuff. But I think the idea of being able to look at the world and see how small it is makes you feel like a kid again. It really does. Because when you become an adult, you start to lose that, right? You start to lose that sense of, you know, the world is small because you start feeling like, yeah, look, I mean, the world is like, you start feeling like the world is small because you're so around everything you've been and it just becomes kind of stagnant, right? And that feeling goes away. But man, when you get that kid feeling from doing something like this, whether it be traveling or just hiking up this and looking at the size of everything, you really feel like a kid again because you start to see really in your own eyes how small you are and how big and vast the world really is. And it's just insane. It's insane, man. And it's really important to feel that feeling. You don't want to lose that kid in you. And I think the Philippines holds that a lot, man.
From soaring peaks to endless beaches, the Philippines is bigger than numbers. It's an experience.
Facts.
Fact number 25. A coastline that never ends. Just try following the coastlines of the Philippines and you'll swear it never ends. Over 36,000 kilometers
Yo.
of twists and turns are packed into this one archipelago. And it's not neat or straight either. It's like nature took scissors to the map and went crazy, cutting
Yeah.
out secret inlets, bays, and thousands of tiny islands that fold into each other. One minute, you're watching world-class waves. Next, you're standing above a sunken cemetery. Busy ports hum with activity as fishermen haul in their catch.
Yeah.
Then, just around the corner, a quiet cove appears, untouched, kind of like the world forgot about it. It's a maze of land and sea
Yeah,
that
man.
bends the rules of geography.
It's a ton of emotions.
And that's a wrap. In the Philippines, every lake, every island, and every volcano feels less like terrain and more like a magic trick the Earth somehow pulled off. So, which one of these blew your mind
Wow.
the most? Drop a comment.
Yo, that almost made me cry there at the end. That was a beautiful video. Absolutely loved that video. Borderline Wonders, man. Incredible video by him. Wow. Thank you guys for linking this over. I love you guys. Till next time.
How good you been living? Wait, how good you been living? I've been living too good for you. I've been living too. Did what I did and I do it again. Every move that I make, I ain't feeling repent. Nobody believes to believe it's a friend, and you question your moves like you really won't end. Really?